Okay, welcome guys. This is episode 13 of 2024 of ChatTactic. Welcome. It's an hour earlier for a lot of us, I guess, and it's I'm just sort of tying it into the BST time. Now that will change a little bit over this coming month, I've got to say. And also, happy April Fool's Day for some of you as well. For me, it's actually now April the 2nd, so technically I was thinking, is there anything I can do for April Fool's? But I've actually only just woken up, so it's sort of like with it being an hour earlier, I really couldn't think of anything, so so it's not going to be any April Fool's messages that I know of anyway. Hi ZXM and CB, hope you guys are doing well, and anybody else has joined us as well. I've got nothing planned for today, actually. It's sort of funny that I've only been up for a short period, and I was just looking at the actual games that I do know that are coming up. There's not really I don't have a lot, which is surprising for this year, actually. Hi, Mike, how you going? And Michael, Mike and Michael. So saying hi, Dad. So I'm only for half an hour, sadly. Work responsibilities. Actually, we'll start off with the giveaway. Got one more key. This is the last key for Solium Infernum. So let's just have a quick look at that one again. Oops, where are we? Infernum. So that'll be coming, of course, at what have I done wrong? What have I done wrong? User error. Solium, there we are. So we'll just go back into here. Great game. Getting better all the time. I'll just get rid of that one. Yeah, so Solium Infernum, this is coming basically, or the game is now out. It's been out since for a month and a bit. But yeah, very positive reviews, which is great to see. So 90%, wow, in recent times, and 88%. So trending slightly towards the more positive in recent times. They've been working on the AI a bit over the recent weeks, and so whenever there is an update, that is coming through basically with the AI just getting a little bit better and better as well, which is great. Yeah, hi Dave and Bob and Rogue and Guy. And so Bob was then saying, thanks for the series on Dynasty Empires. Really enjoyed playing it. I really hope that the devs come back to that game, or that they sell it to somebody else who does continue it. It's got the potential to be such a special game, Dynasty Empires, and it's a shame. It does feel like abandonware at this stage. So it's one of those games that I recommend it with some trepidation now, and I used not to. I used to be quite, I used to be thinking that the devs were going to get back to it, but it's just been too long now. So I don't know. Is it abandonware? I'm just not sure. I haven't looked at it for a little while to see if there's any more updates from. I think it was actually somebody that was connected to the development team, and I had spoken when the game first hit Steam. I was speaking with the developers, and I really loved their story, their backstory. It was a passion project, and then basically they just didn't make enough money out of it, so they've had to go back to their day jobs, and I think it's taken a bit of a back burner. But I always thought that it would come back and be still a weekend project for them, but I don't know if it is. So I'm not sure, but there's been sort of like, we might even have a look at that one as well. Anyway, giveaway is going to be Solium Infernum later on, at the end of the session. And I don't have anything planned for this session, actually. Normally I've got like a few games that I'm sort of wanting to highlight and show, but I really can't think of, like when I woke up, I thought, is there anything I need to talk about? And I can't really think of anything. So anyway, it's, yeah, ZXM saying it's still great even if they abandon it. It is still great. It's just like, let's go there. Let's go there and go through, Dynasty Empires. Is it going to come up? But nope. Imp. If I spelt it wrong. Dynasty Empires. There we are. Yeah, see, the reviews are very positive, 88%, but just not enough of them. Like, just not enough people that sort of are playing it, really. And it lacks polish. The game does lack polish, but it's a fun game to play. Like, it's a really, really cool game to play. So, yeah, if we go back in and have a look at the community hub and have a bit of a look and see what's there. So we've got the because there's been some good things put into the workshop. I don't know if there's anything recent. Most recent. What's the most recent? European city names. Yeah, there's nothing much there. Actually, when does this one come through? These are all my prior mods except for the... Okay, this Mr. Hims did a lot of good work for this one here. What's this one? Yeah, this one's fairly recent. This mod. These are all my prior mods. This mod requires the 2.03 beta. So this is where I think people got a bit pissed off with the game, is that there's a beta version that came out years ago that was so much better than the base game, and yet you've got to opt into it, and it's just, it doesn't, like, this is where it feels like it's abandoned, because the you actually have to go into the beta version to then be able to access all these other things, and that's where that should have just been made like, okay guys, I'm not going to be able to get back to it for a year or so, but here's the current latest version, something. But there's just was nothing at all. I hope that the main developer, it's not a mental health issue, which it could very well be. I don't know. So that's why I don't like being hypercritical, because I know that this was not a money grab situation at all. With this particular game, this was a game that the developers had built up to play for themselves for quite a period of time before they decided to release it as a game. So it's one of those things, one of those situations where I'm not sure what's going on, but I sort of put it in the abandonware category at this stage, to be honest. So we've got world changes, we've got blood orcs here, blah blah blah. Okay, so this is a fairly good recent mod. Yeah, this is someone that, like Mr. Hims has certainly done a lot of really good work in the deity empires, within the areas that he can actually impact, which is so that's probably worth having a download if you actually have got the game, I would think. Let's just go back out again and have a look at the discussions. Yeah, so beta build. Now, this last message here was from the 10th of January. It doesn't have to be from the devs, though. So this was in February 2022. And then we've got... yeah, so this is a long time ago. What's the latest message here? I know that somebody who was connected with the devs did actually put up some information. Yeah, so people saying, is this game still supported? Please make the beta live. People getting crashes, but there's no response. If we sort of go back through and have a look, crash to desktops. Yeah, please release the beta. I was 50 hours into the game and discovered the standard build. Yeah, so this is just pissing people off. That was from January. Go back to the previous page. Beta. Game's crashing. Oh, there's Began. That's it. That's ZXM. There we go. So Began's. I'm assuming that's you, Began. That wrote into that one there. Playing the mods. Yeah, high res. Yeah. Okay. Pretty sure nothing. Yep. Yeah, okay. Let's just go back. Where are we up to? Yeah, I thought there was somebody that came in at some point, but so we're back in 2022. So yeah, I'm not sure. Let's just go back out and get the missing. Had a good you had a good game once upon a time back in 2020. Someone sort of saying. So I think that there's any sign of life of the dev. These sorts of things will keep on coming up, but people are still playing the game. Yep. So any updates? So this is someone saying last year the dev announced an update that was being worked on. Since it was not being released, I've used my power of deduction, come into the result that something went wrong. But we've appreciated an update on the state of affairs or a sign of life, regardless of timing. Agreed. Yep. So yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure. Not sure what the go is here. It's very hard to tell. So I think someone posted the about the wrong game. Ever reported? Yeah, it's just yeah, it's a shame. It's a shame that it's where it currently is. So people saying he was no. The dev was or is making a new game. Not that I know of. This, as I say, this was a passion project. Like certain videos, do come through where there's certain games can be developed where it is a commercial enterprise, and this was not one of them. I mean, if this was one where they wanted to, I think, replace part of their actual day jobs, but they couldn't do it. So it made it difficult. But there was somebody that did actually respond back on behalf of the devs at one point. That was years ago though. So it's abandonware basically, I think, at this stage, but not strictly so. I think they still would love to get back to it, but I think it becomes one of those things where the pressure ends up building up. So it's a bit of a shame that it's in its current situation. Anyway, great game. Just wish it was developed further. It's one of those games that if a publishing company grabbed hold of it and then put another development team in behind it, I think that would be probably the best outcome for everyone, because it would essentially give the original developers the finance that they need or that they were looking for. Except then they then lose the control of it, which I guess would not be a good thing. So yeah, I was just talking out of my ass with that one through there. Okay, so now Rogue is saying, have you heard anything recently on Field of Glory Kingdoms? Just curious. Now I'm under NDA with Field of Glory Kingdoms, so I can all I can really do is show what's actually listed. If we just go back out again. So Glory Kingdoms, there it is there. I don't know if there's a date yet. Yeah, it's only got coming soon. We spoke about this last week a little bit as well. Did we have is it this month that it's coming? And I actually don't know. I don't actually, even within the beta system, I don't know. I'll tell you what I'm doing in the beta. Every time there's an update, I go in and play a faction, and I gauge. I try to play it fresh, as if I'm a new player to the game, and I try to sort of see what happens with that faction. To see if it's intuitive or not. And it's all I'm really looking on from my perspective is if you're new to Field of Glory, empires or / kingdoms, how difficult is it to learn the game? That's all I'm thinking about. And so I'm not trying to break things. I'm not really trying to test scenarios. I'm really just looking at it from the perspective of a new player. And I like where it's headed. There's certainly some things. It's not going to be an easy game, as in Empires wasn't either. It's going to make more sense than Empires. It's a bit more intuitive than Empires. But it's I don't know if let's just go to discussions and just see if there's any sort of announcements. Release date. First half of 2024. That's from Conquest, the actual developer. Now that was back in December. Is there any other updates? Yeah, so it could still be months away, but we're into the second half of the first half of the of 2024. So I think it's on track anyway. So there's certainly been beta updates for testing every so often, which is good. So it's still sort of just chugging along in the right direction. Anyway, it's going to be I think this is going to be a great game. Just from what I can sort of see with it. I don't know why beta testing is there. Oh, that's recruiting. Okay, that's recruiting for the beta. I was just thinking, hang on, I'm not actually logged in on this particular version of Steam, so there's nothing there. That's not where they do their beta testing anyway, on the Steam forum. So anyway, that's don't know the date, but that one's coming. This is going to be a great game though. It is. It's going to be a if you're into fairly intricate Empire type games, then I think that this one will this one will work well. There are, if you go back into the community hub, there should be different updates. So 15th of March was Diplomacy and Troublesome Vassals. So they've got all these little dev diaries that have been coming up. So if you have a look at these, it does then go through in a lot of detail how the game actually does play. And so this is actually something that is worth reading, like these. This one's actually now been, a few weeks away. So there should be another one coming fairly soon, I would guess. It's about every 2 weeks that they're bringing these through. But there's a lot of really good information in these. This one here was from February the 24th, so about every 3 weeks. So we should be getting another one fairly soon, I would guess. So dynasties and characters, how that system works. Sort of working through the whole thing. When was the next one? January the 30th. So yeah, about 3 weeks. About 3 weeks. So Knightly Orders and Heresies back in through here as well. It's going to be a great game. God, it's going to be good. The last one before that was December the 6th. Actually, what was the date there? That was a fair distance between those two. But then this is a little way out. Battles in the Art of Siege. This is such a clever system that Agiod sort of came up with. Just if you don't want to be playing the full-on battle, like it plays out in a matter of a minute or so, rather than an hour, which I thought was fairly clever, the way that they've actually done that. So that's the same system really as from Empires for the actual battles themselves, if you do play them in game. So it's a standalone game. I know that some people don't think it is, but it is actually a standalone game that you essentially you just basically sort of play it that way. You don't have to go and play the battles, but you can if you're wanting to. So it's quite a simple battle system, the actual system in game, and it works out fairly well. Like it's sort of abstracted enough that it sort of does make sense. Again, Agiod are the kings of abstracting things across and making a gaming system out of it. So anyway, it's got a whole lot of different information in there with what's going on. So it's going to be a really awesome game when it does come out, which I'm not exactly sure of the actual date. Now, if we just go back through, I'm really happy just to keep on bouncing off what you guys are putting up here, actually. Beneath the Mountain looks fun. Haven't got the best review, though. So Beneath the Mountain, that's an oldish game now, I think. Because didn't that change? Beneath the Mountain. Oh no, March 2024. Don't know if I've got this one or not, actually. Looks like a dungeon keeper, doesn't it? Don't know if it was something that was offered and then I think because, I don't know, it's sort of weird. I've got to be careful when I put sound up. It certainly looks like a dungeon keeper sort of style game. I wonder why it's mixed. 43%. Wow, that's terrible. That is terrible. Just on the reviews alone, I would probably not bother with it. Just see if I'll just open up my actual Steam. Just see if I've got it in there. The reason I don't have a look at at my actual Steam accounts. No, I don't. Okay, so that's not something that I've got. Sometimes I get them, but the reason I don't actually look at this one is because it's I can bring the scale up much more for the smallish window. So ZXM saying price is too high considering no updates. If they cut in half, maybe more would play it. And it'd get them more attention and dollars. This is for Dynasty Empires, I believe. Yeah, I think it's one of those things. It's probably actually a source of anguish, I would guess, and it's almost like I just wish the thing would go away until I've got time to get back to it. So, and Bob Rupert saying kind of like Conquest of Elysium Light. This is Dynasty Empires. No, it's much more like the early versions of Age of Wonders. So it's sort of like if Age of Wonders 1 or Age of Wonders 2 essentially just kept on being developed along those sorts of ways. That's more what Dynasty Empires is like. So it's not like Conquest of Elysium is very different in comparison, but it's very much a 4X empire building fantasy game. This is Dynasty Empires. But because saying I'm less than 20,000 kills away from getting the last Dynasty Empire achievement, which is the only reason I haven't been playing with the Dynasty Empire mod. So there we go. ZXM saying nice, yeah, I'm 120 k's away from getting it. Okay. Sticky Week saying evening also, evening back. Yeah, and ZXM was saying it was Began in the list there. So it was Began commenting away in the Dynasty Empires forums. And CB is saying I played Dynasty Empires 100 or so hours and enjoyed it, but did edit the options file to grant faster experience gain and larger city borders. Yeah, there's did they get modded in as well? I know that there was certainly. I know that when I was playing it last, there was some suggested changes that I did actually do, and it made the game a lot better. Because saying last time I had free work time, I tried to track the dev down since contact info was really hard to find, but I hit a dead end. I wanted to offer the dev help. Yeah, I don't like. I think it's a group of them, but I think there's one person in particular that does the actual game development. But it is, as I said before, it was like a weekend project for them. And then they thought, oh, look, we love it so much. Because they would play it all the time. So, okay, so Bibica's saying maybe I'll try again since my current contract is almost done. Yeah, I'm not sure. Look, it's like as I say, I'm not sure if they even want to even be thinking about the game, to be honest, at this stage. If it is something where there's, it feels like there's like something where it's just a source of anguish or something like that. So I'm not sure. They probably don't even want to be thinking about it at this stage. It's like me. We're trying to bring back the videos that got banned. I keep on getting emails from different people saying, "Hey, is that video gone?" And I'm thinking, I got because I got hacked a few months ago, and I just haven't gone back through that backlog. And I will get there, but it's just one of those things that's on the back burner. Anyway, Viren Games saying, hey, hi Daz and chat, so hi back. Orbit's saying hi as well, and saying Galactic Civilizations 4 Warlords is looking good. Yes, that's coming out very soon now, this month. So, in fact, just in a few weeks. Hang on, I may not be allowed to say that. Hang on, we'll have a look and see if that's the case. Please be, April, okay. Well, a few weeks within April. I actually know the date. But again, I'm not allowed to talk about it. So, but this is looking, I don't know the information about the game other than what's been written in here, but it's, but I'm really looking forward to this. This is going to be something fairly substantial. I did a live stream actually during last week. With a couple of live streams actually, playing with the current version, like the 2.4 version, and it was good fun. Like the last session was essentially a massive war that then sort of took us through to. We didn't like it's still early time in the actual war itself, but it was good fun playing that one, and we sort of managed to. Actually, I'll show you what actually happened there, because the game is, as you say, is just getting better and better each time. So it's one of these games that I can happily play this game at any time. Like it's become a game that's gone from being an okay game a year ago, and then just got better and better. So probably around about September last year was when it started to really become something quite special, and every iteration now just gets better and better and better. Now we've gone through already a few times what the new version does bring with it, so I won't sort of cover that old ground, but I will just go back through. It was fun playing the if I just go back into continue, so this was like the live stream that I was doing. But it was it was a fun session, because I really thought I was going to end up losing the game when I started, but we were able to just from the I guess the combination of things that actually happened, it ended up becoming quite an interesting sort of system and way of sort of approaching the actual game itself. We're at war with this group over through here, which. And what we ended up wanting to do was to come back down into this particular area of the map, and take over this planet here and this planet over through here. So we've got a couple of planets that we were just wanting to take over because this is behind us, and so their home base is back over this other side. But when we started the war, we had to, like, the war had to be prosecuted in a number of different ways, and the first one was that we were so far behind. If I just go down to, that's us at the top, so where there's a brownish colour. And then the Toxic Empire was the one that we were going up against. But if we have a look at the, you can sort of see through here, this is the overall faction power. When we started the war, it would have been around back in here somewhere. If we go to military power, yeah, that was where the war started. So the war started at that point there. So it hasn't been that much time. But this was the first stage was how do we protect ourselves? And again, the game is great now, playing the way that you can play defensively, you can play offensively. And so initially, because we were so far behind in what we were doing, we had to design ships that were going to be able to fight fairly effectively against the enemy. We could see what the enemy had within reason. This is again something I really like about the game, and so it's ended up. It's one of these things where it was fun to plan out what we ended up doing. So even though it was only a few turns with what actually happened through there, it was cool to play it because we had, as I said before, we had to look at what they had, and again the game gives you all the information. So it's sort of fun to play. Like for example, we do have information, like even though there's a fog of war all the way through here, and we're not really sort of seeing much. Every time I tried to pull back the fog of war, there was fleets of ships running in through here, which I think I've now destroyed most of them. But there were fleets on their side of the border that were then destroying any probe that I would send in to sort of see what I could find. But we do get to see, we've got a presence on their homeworld, and so we do get to sort of see what they've got, what they're building up. And so from here you can then go and sort of see what they've actually, how powerful they're likely to be. One thing you don't know is that there will be other star bases, and even the star bases in recent times have now been given a lot of attention. So there's just tweaks happening all the time that make it really quite cool. Like there was probably 3 months ago, when you had a star base, a military star base, it made it almost impossible to attack planets. So even just a lowly old bomber or fighter, I think we've got some fighters. You've got frigates and bombers back in through here, and so these, like if we just go and press shift and then hover over this one through here, you'll see that the shield strength is 1.2, but that was going up to like 5, which is a lot. And so this one does actually have some shielding, some evasion, and some armor. So this one's still going to be hard to destroy, and it does do it's got a missile attack. That's all it really actually does have. And so it's you can see there that they're being on the planet as well. That does give everything a bit of a boost along. So in this case, plus 54.1%. So we know that if we come and take these sorts of planets, what about this one here? This one's just got another bomber, and we have a bit of a look through there. In this case, the planetary station bonus is 51.2. And you'll be able to sort of then try to figure out why that's the case. We've got sensor arrays, we've got defense matrix. So this one provides orbital automated defense that improves the overall planetary defense. They've actually really worked hard now on the descriptions of everything as well. So that's their home system. But the next target for us would have been in here, like to take the core worlds that they've got in this other side. They've got like a core world here that has just started. Our influence is now just pushing back. But even the way that the way that this war started, if we go back to diplomacy, I love that it shows you, what the reasons are as to why different factions either like you or don't like you, and so. We can see through here we've got one friendly faction, but it's trending backwards a little bit with the cultural differences. Now we've been building culture star bases to push the borders back to protect our lands, but that was enough to change this one from being fairly friendly. You can see it's got shared borders, the growing cultural influence. Ultimately, back before the war started, was like -8. And so that just pushed them. Took them from being a fairly friendly faction into warfare within just a matter of turns, which was, again, I really like the idea of that one. This one here is also trending negatively. So you can see that the cultural differences there are -3. Not that we're sharing much of a border with these guys. I think we've got a little bit of one. We've got a star base in our territory, so there's actually, well, we must be in their territory. You're trading with our enemies in through there as well. Shared borders, different kinds of life forms, and so these are robotics or cybernetics, and so that's sort of trending backwards. This one's going back more positively, and so again the cultural differences, because we've been building cultural star bases, and again I haven't seen that in the game where the AI kicks back so hard against building the sorts of star bases. Like there's heaps of star bases all the way through here. This is essentially where the war started because of that. Because they've got core worlds and we don't. We've only just got colonies back and through this other side. So they've actually settled these different core worlds. They've got 2 core worlds in there, and so these would have to then be attacked, which we would now do in this next phase of the game. But we've broken the back basically of what they had. Yeah, this is the borders. When we go back through the star lane, we do actually have one of our space stations in here. So I'm assuming that thinks that it's got control of all of this. Yeah, and it's struggling actually. This one's under attack. It's under assault from a few of the others. So this is the other sector back and through here. Again, it's an incredible game. An incredible game, just getting better and better and better. It's really special. A really special game. But even things like the military star bases now are, this is our home planet, and we've got this, we've got a military star base over through here. If I go and have a look at this one, it's got like a lot of different sorts of things that now do come through, but they've now split back out the fortification modules. These are sorts of increases defense of allied ships within the starbase area of effect, and so this one does give you the +5 shield, armor, and evasion. So it's now like a separate element that then gets applied, within the region of where those things actually are. I don't know if it'll show up with our ships in through here. If we have a look at these, just got a couple of small frigates and then a cruiser in here. If we have a look at this one through here, shield strength 11, yeah. So that's going up, and we can see there the Skervian Prime Starbase 4 is giving it the +5 in through there as well. But I've boosted the shielding as much as I can on these ships. And so these are, you can see there, we don't get to see if, like, we're not aware of what's happening with the star bases in here, because there is a star base this one does have nearby, but we don't see it. It's not kicking in, but I know that there's one right near it. So I'm guessing if we actually, maybe if we have a look at this one here. We still may not be. I think it is further away. It's their shipyard. We don't have any ships in this region of space. It was it was too dangerous for us. Yeah, we've got a military starbase there now to be able to try to protect this region, but we've only just placed this one in there, and so again we've been boosting things and getting them ready for the attacks in this system. But there's a lot going on. There's a culture starbase that they've now placed in there to try to push our borders back. So it's interesting the different ways that the combat does sort of take place. But as I say, at the end of that session, which is sort of like the end of what I'm going to be doing, this was the final aspect that was then just taken over. And so we've got like a very strong fleet with different cruisers coming back through as well, heaps of fighters. And so for us, it was at the start of the war, when we go back into the way it was set up, which is why it was just so engaging to play, was that we had to build like this increase through here is when we started to design and build our fighters to combat what we could see that they actually had, and it worked very well. And so we just played defensively for a long period of time, and then started to take over those last lots of planets. Hi Andros, how are you going? So thanks for joining. I'm guessing that's what the symbol is there. Okay, so we've got the okay, so more bits are saying just had a preview of the battle viewer in Discord chat. Oh, okay. Really, I'm probably not allowed to show that. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. So I'll have to think about that. Whether I can, I probably can't do that one. So where have we got in through here? We've got the found another bug, I think, in Galaxy 4. So so Roger's saying it's fun to play Field of Glory Kingdoms as a small faction. I thought that that was a bit lacking in Field of Glory Empires. It depends on the faction. Like, to be honest, the faction I've been focusing on, because I don't want to be. I think that the easiest way to learn games like Field of Glory Kingdoms or Field of Glory Empires is to play a not a tiny tribal type faction, but more of a medium-sized faction. So for me, I chose Scotland. I've been just using Scotland as an example because it doesn't have a lot it can do. It's got enough to be able to take over some independence. It can still expand a little bit, but it's not nowhere near a great power. And so it like in Field of Glory Kingdom. So I've been using that as my test bed to sort of see how things do go. Usually Ireland is also good in these games to use as a test bed because you've got like an enclosed area where you can sort of fight within just the provinces or the counties of Ireland. But I haven't been playing as Ireland, and so that's something that I probably will go and try one of those fairly early on. So they're typically the sorts of factions that I like to test, and it's like this. So yeah, it's not really a problem. It's the game itself is not one of rampant aggression and rampantly taking things over because. It's more about trying to balance your kingdom all the time, and no matter what size you actually are. So it's one of those things. Scotland's not really a small kingdom. I think as a really small kingdom, then you're just going to be in the way of other things. So the AI, for example, probably just stomp on top of you. But I'm not sure. It's one of those things where, as I say, I've only really been testing it from the view of something that's sort of like a medium-sized faction. Michael's saying my game crashes when I click the fleet manager, and the fast try to click missile volley, and it always does. Oh, really? I don't think I've had that one. So by fleet manager, you mean the one that's down in here? Yeah. So no, it works for me. Yep, no problems. No problems there for me, and then the volleys as well. There's the beam volley, which not that I've got anything I can fire at down in here, but no, I don't have any problems with that one. Okay, so you're giving if you were giving numerical ratings, what would you rate to Distant Worlds 2 as opposed to Galaxy 4? I love Galaxy 4. This is original intent. Oh boy. That's a really tough one because they're so different. They're both so good. Like one of the things I often do is I sort of rate things based on a whole lot of different categories, and one of the categories where it really becomes difficult to split these two games is actually in the gameplay sort of area, because this is a board game, very much plays like a board game, and it's exceptionally good at that one. I would say, like from my own personal side of things, I would I love Distant Worlds 2 because I love the simulation, I love the randomness of it. So from my personal preference, I have these very, very close together. If I was advising somebody, which game would I recommend for somebody where I'm not using my own personal likes and dislikes, but if I was just sort of going on based on polish and things like that, I would say Galaxy 4 would actually now pip Distant Worlds 2 in that sort of category. I just think that they've brought so many innovations into the game, and they've balanced the fun aspect, or they've promoted the fun aspect of the game, where they've taken away things that weren't fun and replaced them with things that are fun to do in the game. So I think it's in terms of finessing it. further and further and further, and getting and distilling a really something really quite special. Gal Civ for me probably does take that aspect, but from my own personal enjoyment, I've got them. They both for me play they're very different games. Like they're both based in space, but that's really where the similarities end. That's the only thing that's sort of where it's not really. It's very hard to compare them, to be honest. It would almost be like comparing, Distant Worlds 2. You have to compare that to simulation games, and Gal Civ to more board games type sort of games, and they're both really at the top of those sorts of things. So that's a really tough one. I think it comes down to personal preference, and for me, I do love the simulation aspect of Distant Worlds, but I also really appreciate just how much Stardock have distilled the experience for Gal Civ 4. They then go back to what my most anticipated aspects were coming in 2024, and the very, very top. Once I did all of my calculations for the going through the different things that were coming this year. In fact, we should probably do a review of that at some stage. But the Warlords DLC, which is coming out this month for Gal Civ 4, was my most anticipated game/DLC of the year, and that was knowing that there was going to be DLCs coming also for Distant Worlds 2, but right at the very, very top was Gal Civ 4. I do actually have that somewhere. I might even see if I can open that one up. I'll just read a few more of the others as we just go through, just so I'll catch up with try to get the chat to the same level with what we're sort of showing. I think pathfinding in the game is one of the big problems. It looks like a mix of Dungeon Keeper and an RTS. Okay, you guys are talking about Beneath the Mountain. So I'm saying some games with mixed or poor reviews are still good. Sometimes if a game is too difficult, too hard to learn, everyone review bombs it. That's what happened with Distant Worlds 2, to be honest. I read the reviews and they just don't, even people who've played it for 30 or 40 hours, I read their negative reviews and think, that's not the game I'm playing. I'm not seeing that. Hi Reaper, how you going? Guy Bellaby saying, now the clocks have gone forward, will this be your regular start time? That's a really, really good question. For example, this month coming up, in April, I've got 2 other streams in the same time slot in different weeks where I'm going to have to shift this to another day. So already half the month is going to be all over the place. They'll be moved back from Monday to Wednesday. When I schedule those. I sort of know when that will happen, but this essentially should be the new time slot, unless it doesn't work for you guys. And so I am on Discord. If you do have concerns about the times, please let me know, because from my perspective, I can start anywhere from the time I am starting, which is 3 a.m. for me, but I wake up about 2 a.m. Is the latest I usually wake up is about 2 a.m. Usually I wake up around 12:30 or 1 o'clock, somewhere in around there. That's just when I wake up. So 3 a.m. for me is a fine start. 4 a.m. is a bit safer, just in case I do sleep in. I occasionally sleep in till about 3 a.m. We don't have daylight savings where I am. They got rid of it many years ago. So anyway, it's so with BST sort of starting, I have tied it into the BST time at this stage. So my plan is to keep it here unless there's I know that I've had other ones where I've started either later or on other days, things like that. So I'll just let those sort of slide around. One thing I do like to do is to try to get it to get it finished at a so that it's sort of so it's not running too late in the day. I was moving it back later in a couple of instances just to test that and see how that one worked, but that's not going to work for me. So anyway, so at this stage it's fluid. But it's sort of this day. If I make it always Wednesday rather than Monday, and if you're watching this in Australia, that'll be Thursday rather than Tuesday. But if I make it Wednesday, I can always stick to that time slot. But if I keep it on the Monday stream, which is what we've currently got, it will be dependent on what I get booked in for sponsored streams. And I do get the sponsored stream. I'm getting more and more sponsored streams on the same time slot, which and I've really just got to take those. So yeah, sort of I try to give a bit of notice, but it's one of those things. I did actually I forgot to put up a schedule yesterday about this session, so I only did it like probably an hour. When I woke up, I thought, oh, I didn't schedule it. I normally try to schedule it the day before. My Discord, though, is probably the best way of keeping track of those, to be honest. Like, not keeping track, but with communicating with me about stuff like that. I do read that a couple of times a day. I will actually open that one up, and at least it's sort of one of my habits now is to go straight to Discord, see if there's any messages, and then respond to them. So yeah, that's my main way of communicating with you guys. Original intent saying, yeah, I did the numerical ratings. I might see if I can open up that other one as well and have a bit of a look. Michael saying, could you try to see how fast you can click Fleet Manager and Missile Volley after each other? Maybe it's just my game that crashes. I hope it's not going to crash my whole system. Yeah, no, it's no problem. Okay, so yeah, it must be you, Michael. Says more bits. Yeah. So Galactic Ruler Enlightenment coming soon, says Andros. Okay, let's have a look at that one. Let's exit the game. Actually, I'll see if I can find. I'll just bring up this one here. I'm just going to move it off screen for a second. Just see if I can. Because there may be sensitive things in here that I can't show. Where is it? God, it goes back a fair way. Game of the year. Yeah, there we go. All right, I think that's okay to show. All right, so here we go. Yeah, so with what this was actually my this is the upcoming games. So the way, and I forgot how I did all this, but what I did was, yeah, actually it wasn't the very top. Dwarf Fortress Adventure Mode coming up also this month was my most anticipated game of the year. So this has been based on scores going back down, but the Warlords DLC I did actually have as my number 2. So this is like a rating system that I had for myself just for me to make my video. Just press F11 so you can sort of see it a bit more clearly. And so what these were was essentially what I was looking forward to, with the rating system. So you can see through there. I had a lot of games in here, and a lot of them I didn't actually even sort of continue on with because if I didn't have information about it, it was hard to sort of place them in through this other side. So even Keeper RL, like that came out this year, and that really would have been way up the top there as well. But I think I may have had it in my game of the year, did I? No, I didn't even have it in there. So even with the upcoming games at the start of the year, I didn't know what Keeper RL was going to do. If I had have known that was releasing, that would have been right up near the top as well. So there's a whole lot of stuff I had in here that never made the actual list. It's funny going back. Like this has been 3 months since I've had a look at this, and 3 or 4 months, and it's just funny to sort of see what's actually happening. I've got the if I know what dates they're coming. So Adventure Mode coming in April, Q1 for the Warlords DLC. Well, it's Q2, I guess now. Solemn Infernum again. That hasn't disappointed. That's been pretty solid. But you can see there I rated everything in terms of UX/UI, replayability, gameplay, and then extras. So I tried to sort of get like generic things I could sort of then go and do. The extra was sort of like my own slant on something. So if we have a look at where's Distant Worlds 2? Distant Worlds 2 DLC. So you can see there the difference between Distant Worlds 2 DLC and the Warlords DLC is very, very slight. Like 0.3 of a point. So but it does pip it in this instance. In terms of the UX/UI, I did rate the Warlords DLC higher. I would probably rate that even a 9 now. Like if I was, now that the game has sort of developed along a little bit further. But the Distant Worlds 2 is getting better, but nowhere near like what Galciv does in the UX/UI sort of category. Replayability. Actually, I don't know if did I weight these. It's just the average of them. So it didn't weight them. Quite often when I do these sorts of things, I end up with with what's most important to me, and so I will then actually sort of have things where. Where this might be have a weight of, say, like replayability and gameplay might be weighted 5 each, and then UX/UI might be a 3, and the extras might be a 2, for example, and then sort of average it out that way. But I haven't tried looking at it from that perspective to sort of see what does actually happen. But in this case, so this, like Factorio Space Age, I'm not even sure when that one's going to be coming. That may not even come this year. I haven't heard anything at all about that one at all. Menace is coming sometime this year, but we don't know exactly when. Scourge of the Seas did come out. That's about the right sort of rating for that one, I think. That was a very, very good DLC for Master of Magic. Headquarters coming very, very soon, actually. That's this month, I think. Headquarters World War II. So these are all basically the same weighting. Falling Frontier is 2025, so that one won't really sort of kick in. Zephon, we don't know exactly when that one's going to be coming, but again, these are all, I'm looking forward to these, really, with what's coming through. Dominion 6, that should have, I didn't bother re-editing anything when I did this one. So Dominion 6 would rate much, much higher, of course. That should be pushed up the top through here. Feudal Glory Kingdoms should be up there as well. I mean, everything should be up there, to be honest. There's so many good games coming. Manor Lord should be up there. Songs of Six, I haven't played much of that one. Songs of Silence, I think that's about the right level for Songs of Silence based on what I'm seeing with the game. And a few people have said to me that the battles become boring after a period of time. Okay, so Own Blaster saying, what's first? Dwarf Fortress mode? No, Adventure mode. Adventure mode is what's coming. This was the stuff that's coming this year. Headquarters is worth having a look at actually at this point in time, because I think that's coming this month. I think it may be. Anyway, there's a lot of these are all good games. These are all really, really good games all the way through. God, there's so much really when you look at it. I mean, that one's already come out. The Bully Beef update for Second Front. Yeah, it's interesting. Primal Fury. See, I wasn't really looking forward to Primal Fury because I thought it was something completely different. And that should be way at the top as well. Primal Fury was an incredibly good DLC, so that should be way at the top. It's funny just looking back at these as to where they fall. Interesting, yeah. It's sort of funny to see it, but I'm still looking very much forward to Dwarf Fortress Adventure Mode. But I'll look at Headquarters and just sort of see how that one goes. Just press F11. Do we have a date? 12th of April. Okay. Well, in that case, two more weeks, and then we get Headquarters World War II. This is a game that I think is going to be great, over time. This is going to get better and better as well. I did have a lot of fun with this game. I like the system of it. It's probably, in one sense, the graphics belie, essentially the simplicity of the game. The graphics make it look more like it's a different type of game. There may be a bit of a disconnect with that, because all it is it's a grid game. It's just basically played on a grid. If you look at the maps are a grid. All the stuff that you'll find, everything is just lateral. There's no angles to anything. So it's very, very simple maps, because it is just played in a sort of grids type system. But it's done in a very nice way. They've done a really, really good job of this one. So it's certainly going to be a good game, I believe, when it does come out. I've been playing a lot of the demos, and and test versions of the game, and absolutely loving it. So that's coming 12th of April. That's the 12th of April for me. That's going to be the 11th of April for you guys in that case, I would guess. So yeah, about 2 weeks. So that's going to be very, very cool. So next week we'll go through that one. Next week is, I think, one of those weeks where I may have to reschedule my time for this. But anyway, that's going to be a big one for next week. What else have we got? Just go back across. Well, Warlords, we've got that one coming. Let's look at Dwarf Fortress, because there's been another update for that one. If we look at the Community Hub and go to news, I think that there's been more news in through here. So yeah, so this is actually 28. So they're just talking about the music and art update for the Fortress Adventure Mode Combat Part 2. So Tom made a bonus video showing the conclusion of a fight that was in the previous update. If you missed it, you can watch Part 1 here. Let's watch that. I don't think it's going to be all that long. Oh, 10 minutes. Maybe it's a bit too long. This is pretty cool, though. What's actually happening with this. Let's just go back to it. Art updates. So been working on new art for the adventure mode. Not sure what that is. something gone wrong there. Yeah, Carolyn has been creating new kinds of clothing. This is very cool. Actually, I love what they've done with this. EU merch coming as well. That looks pretty cool. Actually, that reminds me, I've got to get some merch done for myself. Yeah, okay. So anyway, then we've got the last one was in March 7th. 1 month to go, yeah. So they will be, I think it's going to be released as a beta, not the actual full adventure mode, but anyway, it's going to be pretty damn cool when it does come. That's coming in a couple of weeks, I think. Have a look at the store page. Actually, it's probably not going to tell us there. We'll go back to Community Hub and discussions. It's going to be a real game changer, actually. A real game changer. Yeah, I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it easily, so I'll leave that one. But it's coming. It's coming very, very soon. Anyway, let's go back to the. I'll just go back up to where I got it. See, Galactic Ruler Enlightenment coming soon. I don't know that one. Let's have a look at that one. So I don't know the original game either. So play campaign stories within the Galactic Ruler universe, which I don't know about. Invade the galaxy to eliminate those who stand in your way, to rally alien races to defend against the invaders, fight battles at both planet and space across a procedurally generated galaxy. Use new unit control systems to manage your forces. I don't know anything at all about this one, actually. What did the original game, how'd that one go? Where's the, it's funny, it doesn't actually have it as the, as similar products. Galactic, what was it, Galactic Ruler? See how it rated. It's only mixed 54%. It's got Supreme Ruler Ultimate. Okay, it offers real-time strategy gameplay at both planetary level and space. Lead your faction in diplomacy and conquest across a procedurally generated galaxy map where any system might hold hostile enemies or resource riches. Develop advanced technologies to rule the galaxy. I don't know this one at all. Yeah, I don't know it. Again, like the mixed reviews are a concern. Supreme Ruler. Is that the same? It said Supreme Ruler back in through here. I do remember that game vaguely. This looks interesting on the planets. I mean, it does look interesting. Why would it be? Why would it rate so poorly? Recent reviews. Supreme Ruler in space. If you don't like Supreme Ruler, you won't like this. Yeah, to be honest, I don't like the Supreme Ruler type games all that much. I find them a click fest, and so I don't tend to like them. This game has a lot of potential, but it's not balanced finished. The devs are a small team, so yeah, it looks like they never really sort of hit their straps. Extremely counterintuitive, inconvenient UI with some major bugs. I spent more time fighting and figuring UI than I spent playing. Yeah, anyway, I won't go through it in detail. That looks like something that if I'm like so many other games coming out, I probably wouldn't look at that one myself at this stage. Anyway, let's go to see what else there is. Yep, Rogue is saying Distant Worlds is more of a simulation experience. Galaxy of 4 is more of a game, if that makes sense. Yeah. Michael's then saying maybe something to do with me changing the designs of special ships. Yeah, don't know. No idea. Andros is then saying I prefer Distant Worlds 2. Yeah, and Azith is saying it's like chess to tic-tac-toe, and I like both. So Original Intent saying a wizard streams precisely when he intends to. Well, I often don't intend to. It's sort of when things will fit at the moment. Bubicus is saying Millennia is another game that has got a ton of initial negative reviews. Looking at those reviews, though, many day one reviews were negative due to complaints about multiplayer features. Yeah, I think that's often technicalities will give you negative reviews at the start. Millennia is again one of those games where I think it is the Civ killer of this year. I hope it does well because I think a lot of people who like Civ type games will really, really enjoy Millennia. Actually, what does that rate now? Yeah, there's a few DLCs coming by the looks. 65%. Yeah, that's fair. I think the combat is for me is the negative, but it's not the focus of the game. The actual the innovations in the game are really, really good. So I do think if you like Civ games, you're gonna really, really enjoy it. Here's a game I did mean to cover. I just haven't had time. Look at the negative reviews. Seems to cater for a niche. Yeah, don't know. The answer to the question, can Paradox make a game that is enjoyable without 10 DLCs, remains as no. I wish, see, that's probably somebody who's come in and thought, I'm just going to write that review because it's going to get a laugh. Yeah, only 36 people found it funny. I thought it was funnier. I thought it was funnier than that. Wish Steam would install a meh button because this game does not deserve a thumbs down, but neither an endorsement. I think it's very innovative. Actually, I actually do think it's innovative. So 1.5 hours isn't enough time with these sorts of things. Like these sorts of games. Interesting. How many reviews has it got? Yeah, 1,200. Which, for only being out for a few days, really, that's pretty good. It's still a pretty good start, and that will probably trend upwards, I would guess, if we have a look at the reviews, and then look at where do we see the graph? It's normally here. There's normally a review graph. Sorry, a graph of what you can then have a look at, but I'm not seeing it there. Anyway, we'll leave it there. We'll leave that one there. So this is saying 2 a.m. Why? I just wake up that time. It's sort of like when I used to employ a number of people, and I found that when I was in my normal work time, it was one of those things. With the job I do, it's sort of one of those things where I need time to think about stuff, and so I found that during my work hour, I was either being interrupted by people ringing or people asking questions, and so I couldn't get anything done. And so I started waking. This is going back to say maybe 20 or 25 years. It was I just started waking up really, really early and getting earlier and earlier, so I can get all my work done before I started work. And I just got into the habit of it. So that's why I get up. I'm still in the habit of just getting up super, super early. I don't know if that'll ever change. Even as a kid, I was always up before dawn. I've never not gotten up before dawn, like my whole life. So I was one of those annoying kids at Christmas that would be shaking the stuff under the tree at like 3 a.m., stuff like that. So it's just part of my makeup. Okay, so where are we up to? So Buka's saying after a week, though, the reviews have gone from 52% to 65%. Okay, that's pretty cool, actually. That's not too bad. As I was saying, when do you sleep? I don't need a hell of a lot of sleep. I need about 5 hours, and 5 hours for me is a good night's sleep. So I go to bed about 8 p.m. So I go to bed, fairly early in those sorts of terms. But so I do get I do try to get 5 hours if I can. And I do also, I get pretty tired in the afternoon. So to be honest, I do often fall asleep in the afternoons just to have a bit of a nap. So again, I've done that for years and years. So Bill saying, I play Millennium exclusively single player and I've enjoyed it a lot. It's a refreshing change from Civ. I play it like a 4X true roguelike with permadeath, and I think it's really fun that way. Yeah, it's I think it is cool actually. And Johan's saying, are those your scorings? Yes, they are. So these are when I was trying to figure out, because this year was hard, and even like trying to figure out the game of the year for 2023. This is my again just scoring it with UX UI, replayability, gameplay, extras, and then the notes were just when I got my top 12 by the looks of things that I actually ended up in through here. I then sort of just reshuffled them a little bit. So I did actually move a few things around just with my actual ratings, even though it's not strictly like I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, because these all sort of ended up on 4 points, 3.75. I realized after doing Game of the Year that I needed more points, so I scored these out of 5, and then with the upcoming games, I thought I'll use out of 10, and then use but I'll also use decimal points to try to split things a little bit. So I can actually filter and sort by the different areas, and so I found that like Dwarf Fortress mode, I think is going to give great replayability. Like if I go and filter there, if I go and sort, so I've got all these different sorts in through this other side. If I sort from that goes from see, Broken Arrow is going to be one of these games that's going to hit really hard this year. But for me, the replayability is an aspect, is a problem with it. Actually, I need to do the Z to A. And so in terms of replayability, you can sort of see most of these are have got like the high ones. That one, Imperium's Rise of Caesar, which came out about a month or so back, I think. It's not like it's the other bits that sort of let that one down. Like the gameplay experience for me, I wasn't really looking forward to the gameplay experience of that one all that much. But the replayability of these games is really usually quite high. So that's sort of like, so I can filter just by different things, or just filter just by the score itself to get my list. Also, I can filter by turn-based strategies, real-time strategies, auto battlers. So I also wanted to classify them as well, just so I could actually, because I had so many games that I was looking forward to in the end. I needed to put out videos of, so I could actually then split them up. Like even, I don't even know if Millennia rates, to be honest, and that really should have been, if I go to, it's not really a city builder, is it? Anyway, it's sort of, it was just for me, it was a very, very clean and simple way of actually, of getting everything sort of sorted, so I could very quickly sort. Like if I wanted to see what the best war games were, for example, I could then I only had like a collection, 7 of them in the top there, with Headquarters being the top of that particular group. Armour Brigade I'm looking forward to as well. Like that one will be coming sometime this year. I'm not exactly sure when, but that probably rates higher. Like I would rate that one highly, but I didn't second guess myself when I put the numbers in. I just put the numbers in and then just left it at that. I didn't go back and try to manufacture the results. But it's fun. It's funny going back and having a look at this one. Maybe I should have a look at that every so often, just see where where things actually, if they did fit the bill. Solium Infernum, yeah, I would say that's probably about where that one should be. Distant Worlds 2 is improving a lot. I'd probably rate that higher than what this one actually is. Replayability, I've only gave that a 7.2. I'd probably rate that higher in reality. Menace coming. We don't know exactly when that one's coming. Headquarters we know is coming fairly soon. Yeah, it's interesting actually just having a bit of a look at these to sort of see where they actually are. Yeah, so Iron Blast is saying, what's your first Dwarf Fortress mode or adventure mode coming, basically. So in terms of games that I enjoy, I do enjoy Dwarf Fortress. So I love that game. Absolutely love it. Like I was saying, since I like old school first-person dungeon crawler RPGs with turn-based combat and grid-based movement, I'm going to grab Crossing the Sands in a bit over 2 weeks' time. I don't know that one. Let's have a look at that one. Crossing the Sands. First-person dungeon crawler with turn-based combat. Looks like Wolfenstein. And I don't mean Wolfenstein 3D. Actually, no, Wolfenstein 3D was the first Wolfenstein, wasn't it? Is that a road? Is that a road that he's on? Turn-based combat and grid-based movement. Explore the desert and discover out what that doesn't make sense. And discover out what mysterious forces are behind growing attacks on the human settlement. So I don't think anyone's proofed the actual description with that one through there. So that should be changed. I don't know. For me, this doesn't look all that great, so I probably wouldn't be looking forward to that one myself. Sometimes you get a bit of an idea if you have a look at the the community hub, and just see how many people are actually. Yeah, there's not very many people talking about it at all. Yeah, just I don't know anything at all about this one. Nothing at all. All right. Okay, so we'll continue on. We've got Guy Bellamy saying, have you ever played Old World? And if so, what do you think it compares to other Civ games? I think that's an incredibly good game in terms of a Civ-based game. It's a game that I'm always meant to do more video content of, and I never really got back and did a lot of it. So it's one of those games that I would like to go back and play more of it. It's again exceptional with what's with like in terms like that should have been the Civ killer, but it just wasn't. When it had a bit of a rocky launch. Have a look at Old World. Not a rocky launch, but it just when it came out. It came out into the Epic Game Store. You can see it's very positive, 82%, 81%. So people do love this game. Again, Civ games aren't my style of thing. This one, what I really like about this one is that it doesn't go through the eras. So I quite like what this one actually does do. It ticks many more boxes for me than Civilization does, just for me personally. One of the negatives that people don't like is the amount of RPG/story that comes into the game. Can be a little bit overwhelming, but I think you can tone that one back now as well. But I haven't played this for a long time. So it came out a couple of years ago from Mohawk Games, which this was one of the developers of Civ actually developed this. Mohawk Games, I forget actually who that is. Is it Soren Johnson? I forget who it actually is. Anyway, this was a developer of one of the earlier Civ games, the lead developer, and then this is the game that he put all his effort into. But Hooded Horse only just came into the picture as the publisher in recent times. Like, they weren't here at the launch, which is a bit of a shame, because I think that Hooded Horse would have been able to have pushed the game even further. I think it would have been if they got involved a bit earlier, that would have been a good mix. Hooded Horse have got some incredible games that are coming out this year, so they've got like a whole stable of different games. But yeah, it's good. It's a good game. So Roland is saying, hi, I was looking for 2D Armies Steam game, fantasy. Any recommendations? I already have Heroes of Might and Magic, by the way. Yes, actually, yes. I was playing this yesterday. I'll show you another game. If you like Heroes of Might and Magic, you're in for an absolute treat. This is Songs of Conquest, and this is a game I haven't played it for a year until yesterday. And the devs contacted me during the week and said, "Hey, we've got a new map pack that's just come out." And I responded back and said, "Oh, look, I don't play maps. I play random maps." And they said, "Well, stay tuned, because there's going to be a big update coming very, very soon to the random maps as well." But this game is, if you like Heroes of Might and Magic, this is the Heroes of Might and Magic killer. This is it. This is the game. And it already is, even though it's in early access. It's going to be hitting full release within weeks, I think, weeks or months. Anyway, it's going to be coming out this year into full release mode. And as I said before, they've got different ways of playing the game. And so in this case, I'll just go through actually how this played. I did mean to actually, this is probably the actual one game I really did want to highlight today, was just the because of this map pack that has come. If you got this game, this is amazingly good. And so in this case, the way it works is you've either got campaigns. Now at the moment they've got campaigns for. You've got 4 different factions you can play as. So you've got like a faction that is essentially your standard medieval trope, sort of grouping through there. You've then got like marsh dwellers, which are sort of like lizard men / amphibious type groups in through this other side. You've then got your undead faction in here. And then you've got another faction coming, which is sort of like the desert dwellers. And so they're still working on this campaign for it. They're going to be adding in more factions, though, into the actual game itself. So there's a lot coming for the game, I believe, from what I can sort of understand. You can also download community campaigns. So there's different people, and these are scripted maps all the way through here. So they've added a few more maps to this. But if we go back in to Conquest mode, this is where this game really does shine. By the way, before I forget that one, multiplayer, you can host an online game. You can join with a game code, so you can actually have like a private game online. You can find an online game, or you can start a hot seat game. So, and I know that Heroes of Might and Magic was one of those games that people really did enjoy playing as a hot seat game. You see Johnson saying, "How did you like Songs of Silence?" I'll talk about that in a minute, actually, because I'll just talk about this Songs of Conquest. It's a bit confusing because they're both songs of, but this is Songs of Conquest, not Songs of Silence, which is also coming out very, very soon. The Conquest mode here, though, is really where this game, for me, absolutely shines. If you go and have a look at it. So you've got 3 different ways of playing it. You've got Conquest maps, which have added a lot in here. So they've added a lot more maps in here, which is what the current update is for the game. So there's a lot of them that they've actually put a lot of. So these are curated maps, which, as I said to the devs, I don't tend to play those. You've also got challenge maps, which came in a couple of months ago. We can actually sort of play very specific sorts of events to sort of see what actually does happen. How fast can you claim the beacons, for example? So these essentially are challenge. Well, these are challenge maps. But the random maps is really where the game, for me, shines. And so with the random maps, you've got like 2, 4, 6, 8 players, and then you've also got a 2-player multiplayer. So it tries to create a really, really balanced experience for 2 players to play. And so you've then got different ways of actually playing the game. So King of the Hill essentially means destroying everyone else. So it's not really, it should be just called Conquest, really, more than King of the Hill. King of the Hill usually means that you've got to take one location and hold one location. That's not the case in this case. So King of the Hill is incorrect terminology. But then you've got beacons of power where you can win by taking over different beacons in the game and then sort of controlling those and win that way. Or you've got find the object as well, where you can sort of it's almost like a quest for the Holy Grail type thing as well. So you've got different ways of sort of playing the game with these things turned on. If you turn on one of these beacons of power, you can have it so you don't have to do King of the Hill, or you can sort of turn that one off so it only becomes this one here. I don't know if I think that would be more the way you then play it, but anyway, that's the way it does work. But one of the interesting things with this, like if you go to say the 6-player map, and so this is a wheel. This is a wheel algorithm that they've got for the nodes for building the actual random map. But they've also got gyroscope as well, where they've got like 3 players come into this one area, 3 players go into that one area, and then it opens up to a number of different areas through the middle of the map. And so when the maps are generated, this is sort of how they are generated. The 8 players as well, you've got this sort of arrangement. You can then go and play Centipede. Again, 4 coming in, 1 in the middle, 4 coming in. So it looks fairly interesting, the way it sort of does work. A corridor, where it just sort of runs, I think it just runs either in a circle or something like that. I'm not exactly sure how that one actually does work. The shuriken as well is another interesting sort of style of actually playing the game. In the game I was playing yesterday, I think it was Insect was what I was playing as. So I was playing this mode in a 4-player, just against the AI. But I did do a live stream on Twitch about it. But it was it's very, very cool the way it does actually then go and work. Just see if there's anything else. Sticky Wick is saying, I followed Larry Monty's old Heroes of Might and Magic 3 videos from about 12 years ago. Well, this is the killer. This is the killer for it. If I go back and I'll show you, I'll go back and start with, like, I'll open up the game that I had that I was playing yesterday. So this is a 4-player game. Essentially, it's round 37. And in this particular game, I've already wiped out. Remember that layout of the insects where it goes into one, and then from there it starts to spread out. So in this instance, this is what we've got. So the game itself is, you've got like heroes, very much like Heroes of Might and Magic, where each hero has then got their own army. So we've got a very, very strong army coming through here. I've got a few different groups. I've got another one back over this other side with a smaller army, and then I've got pretty much my transport guy just going through and actually transporting. There's been a lot of really, really good innovations in this game. So, for example, this is my capital back over through here. It's very, very well protected everywhere. Unlike Heroes of Might and Magic, what this one does is that you build into building slots. Like I've got a small building site right there, which I could actually go and add something else to. I've got sort of like larger ones in through there. The Grand Armory has been added in. So instead of going inside the castle and building from inside the castle, what I need to do is I need to go to these sorts of things and then build special buildings from this one. And so I've got the different sorts of buildings I can build. That give me different sorts of bonuses as well, depending on what I actually have. And so each faction has got their own build queue. And so we've been taking over this area. There's no way for anyone to come and reach me from in here. So it really just, the roads are all that's really important. So this was all sort of blocked off to me. I can't get across there, for example. And so that's a nice choke point for us. We haven't sort of expanded out our way through these just yet, but these roads then extend out into other nodes, so the other random nodes. It's done very, very well. Back up through here was where the other player was, and so we took their castle over just very recently, and so I've been building this one up as well. So I've now got like 2 castles. In this case, I still haven't built everything that I needed to build. This is like a large area that I could then go and build if I've then got the resources. You can see there that different things are going to cost you different resources down the bottom through there. But it's got a nice mechanic of, to pick up the troops, I can go to like a settlement, which is it doesn't have like it's not a castle. So I can still build things in here, but I can also build, which it was such a great idea, this rally point. And what this one does is it picks up the troops from other towns. So if I go and grab this character here and go back to the rally point, I can just go back and pick up anything that I've got access to from any of the other cities. And so this is all of them, or I can go to specific cities and just say, okay, look, I want to grab, anything that's still available from this particular location. And so it ends up, we end up with getting more and more different sorts of units coming back into the actual game itself. So as I say, really, really cool game, the way it sort of does work. It's the polish in this game is unbelievably good, and I was blown away by how much better it was than a year ago. Like it's improved a hell of a lot, and so and even just with the random maps, the way that they're sort of structured is very, very good. So of course you need your different basic resources, which are back up and through here. One thing it does lack, which I would love to see, and I should actually mention this to the devs, is that there's no overmap. You've got this overmap. I would love to be able to expand this overmap and see a bigger version of it in the middle of the actual screen. So that would be really cool if there was a way to zoom into the into this map at the bottom here. So I don't think there's a way to do that, unfortunately. But it's such a good game. That's one of the beacons of power, by the way. So I need 3 of those to win the game, or I need to defeat the enemies, one or the other. But it's as I say, I had a lot of fun with it, a real lot of fun. So if you're looking for, like the question, what was the question? The question was, I forget where it was. It was, I think it was one off the top of my screen actually. So I'm going to have to go back and have a look. But this, I can highly recommend this as a pixel-based game. It is very, very well done. Like very, very well done. Oh, the combat. If we have a look at the combat, like if I go back into my main fighter. We can sort of see through here, like when I hover over these, this one is a body of alien troops, which are sort of similar to what we actually have. There's a lot of them, like there's a horde of footmen, several knights, many horned ones, and an assembly of phase spirits. So it's got like a range of different sorts of units that are going to be in there. Now she has got pretty much a full army, except for the knights. We've got 2 more knights we can bring in. Let's just go and do that one while we're here. So if we just go back into here, and go and grab the 2 knights that were available. Actually, that's the Fist of Order. These are actually even more powerful than knights. There's the knights there. I've only got 1 knight available, so I can bring the 1 knight in. I won't worry with those. I think we've got pretty much, like, so these are like the tier 2 units down the bottom through here. I'll just leave the others where they are. Let's grab that one while we're here. All right, so we'll just grab those. So he could then come back and then feed in these other armies. But if we go back to her, and if we just go back and fight, so this is considered a risky battle. And so the way it works is you've got random maps that then come up. So this is where it's much, much better than Heroes of Might and Magic ever was. You then have to arrange your troops depending on different slots. So they're going to be sort of arranged across this way. We want to be in the hills with the ranged units. So we've sort of got those essentially where they all are. I've only got 3 melee units there. Go into manual battle and sort of show you how this one does work. So it's a little bit like Heroes of Might and Magic, but it's so much better. So what we end up having is we've got the so for example, if I go and attack that one, I'm going to do 0 to 2 damage in through that other side. It's going to put me onto the high ground. The high ground is going to give me a 20% extra damage when it goes back into there. They've got a retaliation, so they actually can retaliate. And this is the order that's going to go through. So these will then move next after me. So I get to move, but they can't really close the gap. So I've got to then think, okay, do I want to be playing like this? If I go and just left click if I just go and left click on that unit there, he can pretty much walk into anywhere he wants to go next turn. There's 11 of them. I'm better off sort of locking them in at this stage. So I might leave the knights do 13 to 16 damage, 40 health. This one does 2 to 5 damage, so nowhere near as much. So I'm just gonna leave this one where he is, I think, and we'll just put him into defensive mode. So I'm just going to leave him where he is. I can also then just go through. You've got like a magic system back and through here. I can just go and place like a special shield on that unit if I wanted to. So they'll then just move it forward a little bit. Now we actually get to use our group. Now we've got a ambush, so attack the first enemy moving into your deadly range. So this one, the deadly range is where we can sort of see I can fire anywhere along that dotted line. From that dotted line, that's my deadly range. This is my far range. So I can do 10 to 14, can kill 10 to 14 of those off. This one's outside of the range. There's only 7 of them. These I can do a fair bit of damage to. And this one here I can do 3 to 4 damage. Now this one I'm sort of most concerned about. So I'm going to go and click on this one. So I'm just going to right click. And then these as well. These are the high level, like to get the archers. These rangers are like they're sort of like secondary level. But we should still be able to whittle away at this particular unit. And again, this one's inside the deadly range. These are outside the deadly range. If I move, it's 50% less that then comes in as well. Now the troubadour can actually go and kill that one off if we need it to, or these are throwaway units, to be honest. There's no retaliation if you get the kill. Wow, that destroyed all of them. And so now we actually have, these are crossbowmen, but if I move the crossbowmen, they're going to, it's not going to work all that well. So I'm just going to leave that one where that is. And I'm just going to move this one back. Now I can actually hit this one and get a fair bit of these. So let's go and do that. They just did destroy a few of ours. Okay, so we can now move up. We've now lost the other group that we actually had through there. So it's a more interesting. It's better. It's much better than Heroes of Might and Magic, in my opinion. The way it does work. We lost a few there. Okay, so we can do 2 to 4. So these are now all inside the deadly range. 5 to 7, 5 to 7. Get rid of that one. Then the crossbowman. Well, we can see there if I hover over there, it then sort of says deadly range plus 100% damage, high ground plus 20%, etc., etc. So it gives you sort of like good information with what's actually going on there. Let's go and get rid of that one. And then this one as well. This one again is inside deadly range. And we're only going to do 4 to 5 damage. We're going to end up losing our knights here. And that's not good. They've gone after the after these. So we'll just keep on charging away. We do actually have a few different things we can bring back in as well. Like we can bring in earth blocks. There's a whole lot of different spells that you end up getting access to. So I've really only been focusing on creation and order magic, but there's other magics as well with different things that you can then bring in. This is mist. Yeah, okay, target enemy troop gets minus 50% damage. I might bring that one in against that unit there. So we'll just make that one weaker because we're going to have to get out of there. Let's just do the damage. Oh, hang on, now we can't. This one here is a bit of a problem. I'm going to move away. We took a bit of damage. And we have to do the same thing here. So I can do an actual physical attack, or I can move away. But when we have minus 50% damage, that then gets done. These ones here, they've already now fired, so it becomes a situation where we need to just use the crossbows. Then need to sort of either they'll recharge or reload at the moment. Let's just, oops, you'll move that one in and do more damage there. Right, we've destroyed that one through that other side. We've still got this one. We've still got the height advantage. So when we have a look at this one, we do get the 20% extra from being on the higher ground. And all we have is just these now. So let's go and finish these off. There we go. And so the combat is nice and quick. It's much more strategic than Heroes of Might and Magic ever was. And it's a really, really cool game. So so anyway, that's yeah, that was essentially it. So we lost a fair bit there, but then this then opens up, so we can then start to pick up the various loots. Maker's Compass, that would then come back into. She then has this one here, which then gives us extra view radius, +3 movement. We've got other materials that we've placed on her as well, which give different buffs to the groups that we actually have. We've got different skills that we've then been sort of grabbing as well. It's a really nice system. Now this one is a harder one for us to then go and get. So we're wanting to replenish her army before we then go off and do other things. So it's very much a Heroes of Might and Magic style game. You know, you've got these sort of sources in through here. So you get extra XP. So she's nearly up to level 13. She's by far my best fighter. Anyway, that's Songs of Conquest. I do highly recommend it now. It's like it's certainly improved a hell of a lot. So that was now where was that one? That question was. Yeah, it's right. So Rolando was then saying I was looking for 2D Armies Steam game. Hope that fits the bill. But I would recommend that one. Yeah, I've already have Heroes of Might and Magic. That is the Heroes of Might and Magic killer. That game there. That's Songs of Conquest is probably the one that you like. I think it's really cool. Buka saying that Battle of Westnoth is free. Songs of Conquest. There we go. Dynasty Empires. Master of Magic. Also, there's a game that basically space Heroes of Might and Magic, but I don't remember the name. Yeah, I don't know that one. Battle for Westnoth has actually had another update as well in the last week, so we might talk about that one as well. Thanks. I think I got Battle of Westnoth, but too simplistic. It's Songs of Conquest like the Heroes of Might and Magic, but against the undead. You can play against the undead. It's got like the different. There's 4 different factions essentially that come into it, and so it's. But it's got really good balance. The way that those nodes are generated really does make it so that you. Like so often Heroes of Might and Magic games ends up running away, whereas the first person who gets like the first settlement, it gets such a big advantage. And that still happens a little bit with Songs of Conquest, but it does have better balance than what I've seen in other games. Actually, Bubicus is saying that I hadn't read all this stuff before I started this one here. Okay, so one of the great things about Songs of Conquest is that the community has added a ton of Heroes of Might and Magic maps to the workshop. Yeah, so it's got a very active community, and the devs are great. Like they're very responsive. They really care a lot. Again, it's a passion project for what they're actually building, and they've done a really good job of it. So Generous is saying, "Hi Dad, it's been a while. Hope your year is off to a great start." Yeah, it is actually. It's been good. So Michael's saying, "Oh well, was my first and only key. So far from the Marvel run. Here we are." And Roland, Michael's in saying to Rolando, "Have you tried the Wake of the Gods FA made mod for Heroes of Might and Magic?" I don't know that one. Sissel's saying, "Forget it's Monday." And John Letter saying, "How did you like Songs of Silence?" Yeah, so Songs of Silence, I really like the idea of it. I love that you can actually now play not random maps, but they're not actually random, but they feel random. And so replay value, I do like it. I think you really do have to sort of it does. The auto battler system is simple enough to be able to play easily, but complex enough to at least. You've got to plan things out a little bit the way that you approach things, which is cool. So I do like that one. I'm hoping that over the course of its development, it's going to get better and better. So I've got the demo there, which they've brought out a new demo for Songs of Silence. That's a very, very nice game. I think that'll be a good game actually when it does come out. Sister's saying just wait until you see the game Songs of Science. So John Lillard's saying Heroes of Might and Magic 3 was one of my favourite games. Haven't played it in years. Yeah, I think it's one of those games that people think very, very fondly of, but in reality, when you look at it against something like Songs of Conquest, it's the innovations that they've made with Songs of Conquest. It's like even with the way that the battles took place, like within in that instance, was so much better than what Heroes of Might and Magic ever did. Heroes of Might and Magic is one of those things where I think that when you look back fondly on it, it's it feels good, but in reality, it's not as good as when you're looking at these modern type games. Because saying there are so many songs games recently. Yeah, Songs of Conquest, Songs of Silence, Songs of Six. That's true. It's also games coming out called Songs of Steel, Songs of Emmerich, and Songs of Everjade. I didn't know about any of those. So still saying I agree. That's not King of the Hill. Yeah, it's not King of the Hill. It's full on Conquest basically. Not one of them is a rhythm game. There we are. He was saying, "Doe, I see what you did there. I'm not sure what that is." Casey's saying the game looks great, and I like the art style, but I just can't deal with the janky GIF style animation. It's that's something that actually I've noticed it in the comments. People actually are that's something that people would love to see changed, like being able to mod that in the different graphics. It did win an award for the graphics, I think, at one point. One thing I find that the missing, like I would love to have like an overview map rather than just the pixel map as well, like just to supplement it. Michaelson saying doesn't beat a Heroes of Might and Magic 3 XXL map with Underground though. I think it does. I think it's exceptional what they've done and getting better and better. Michael's sort of saying, may still grab the game, need something new, like Magic Mirror in Heroes of Might and Magic 3. I don't remember that at all. Connie's saying, oh, right, it's Monday. Yes, it feels like Sunday because it's a holiday, I guess, for most of the world, most of the Christian world, any Christianized world. We've got the, now what's the other thing I was going to talk about with this? I was just thinking, no, it's gone from my head. We're talking about something else. No, I can't think of what it was. Hi, Tarank, how are you going? So, Serenity saying, how's the AI for songs? That seems to be the main complaint on the forums. For Songs of Silence or Songs of Conquest? I think we're going to have to be more explicit. Actually, you did. You said Songs of Conquest, I mean. So, well, you got different, like the one I was playing, I'll just go back in there again. Just grab myself a drink of water. Now, I'm playing on one of the easier ones when I was playing this, but if I go in and actually start up a game, like a 4-player game, for example, and just go confirm, when it comes in, you've got like a fair few different things you can do. You can play a teams game if you're wanting to, so you can sort of change the teams, so you can sort of change them up. So you've actually got like 2 versus 2, for example. You can also then change, of course, the different factions. So you've got the 4 different factions that you've got in through there as well. I don't know why it defaults to the undead one, but anyway. And then you've also then got the like how difficult the AI will be. So fair, I think, is just everything sort of even. You do actually have a simple, and then it goes all the way through. I don't know what these do up to deadly. But there's a lot of choice there with difficulty, and I'm not exactly sure how that one does work. I was pleasantly surprised when I was streaming it yesterday. The fact that the AI was doing what I was doing, which was to have one death stack, bring everything into one big stack and leave that for killing things off, and then having the other stack feeding it in. So it was coming in and feeding into the death stack. So when I ended up fighting the AI on, and I'm just playing on fair mode, so fairly simple. When I was playing on that one, I was, as I say, I was pleasantly surprised that the AI that fought me, because it did attack me when I broke into their territory. That one did actually come down with almost comparable forces to a degree, and also its level was also comparatively the same as mine. It wasn't that far off, so I was impressed with that because I wasn't expecting to see that, because quite often the games will cheat, and it didn't cheat, but it was actually feeding into one army and keeping one army as strong as it possibly could. And so that one is that one was really quite cool, the way that one sort of did actually then go and work. So anyway, that's but it's there's a lot to like about this game, a real lot to like, and more on the way. This will be hitting its actual 1.0 within a few months, I think. So it's sort of coming very, very soon. But they do want to just tweak the random maps even more. Okay. Where are we up to? How's the AI for... we did that one. So Rolando saying, Michael, no, not tried it. Dave, actually, the other game as well, if you like fantasy games, really, you can't look past Age of Wonders 4 either. Like that is, that's a lot more complex in terms of the tactical battles, so much more immersive. Really, it is probably the best of the fantasy games out there. I can't think of another fantasy game really that sort of comes close to it in terms of having a that fantasy experience of being able to expand out. You did mention 2D though, and that's why I didn't go there, but. So, Age of Wonders really is an amazing game. Dominions is essentially, that's 3D as well, I guess, isn't it really? But Dominion 6, another exceptional game, but very, very complex. Incredible game. Incredible replay value in both these games. Yeah, there's so much. God, we're so lucky at the moment with so many different games coming out. Actually, Keeper RL is another one that's a fantasy-based game. This is more like Dungeon Keeper, though, so it's not really like Heroes of Might and Magic. Now, there was a mention there, where was it? Actually, Dave Flit's saying Battle Brothers without your whole party being killed. Yeah, Battle Brothers, I didn't like that balance with that one, to be honest. So someone said, wouldn't stand Old World, and that's why I'm skeptical about Millennia. I couldn't stand Old World. Okay, yeah. Saying, oh, do we do the giveaway at the beginning now? No, not yet. No, we haven't done that yet. It's still going to be at the end. Rogue saying to me, Silence of the Siren looks almost exactly like Heroes of Might and Magic 3, but I don't know anything all about that one. Morib saying Dominion 6 is 3D. Essentially it is. I mean, it's a 2D sprites on a 3D plane. Actually, I guess the map itself isn't. Yeah, actually, it's more 2D than 3D, isn't it? Really, in essence, I was thinking of the battle map. The battle maps in Dominions are. I don't know if I've got a game. It's been a little while since I've played this one. I'll see if I can play out an actual battle. But these are. If I just continue an old game, what have I got? This one looks like I'll probably have been doing a bit in here. Hopefully there's a battle in Nicia. So this is so the battle system with this. So 2D map, 3D battles with sprites essentially, all scripted. They all do their own different sorts of things. Incredible game this. Like it really is one of the best strategy games ever made. The different sorts of troops and things, what they do. So they're moving back to a better line, I believe. Yep, so their morale is still actually okay. So this is an auto battler. This is probably the best auto battler there is. Going off to kill different units. It's funny, the 2D sprites do people's heads in, like because they're used to having 3D. So our group's here. You can press C and look at the coloured squares and stuff like this. There's a whole lot of different keyboard shortcuts. But this is essentially how the auto battler here works, which is all fully scripted. Before you go in, you sort of script what you want. These guys are going to come in the back and clean that one up. I did leave a gap there, unfortunately, which has allowed them to go back through. But these wardens are doing the job and killing all of them off. And now they're all running away. So that's sort of the end of that particular battle. But it's a very cool game if I just exit out of that one. So it's a 2D game, but very, very involved, very intricate, but really, really cool game. Like, it really is one of the best games out there. So that just came out as well. Just exit out of, actually, where's the quit? Quit without saving. There we are. So that's Dominion 6, of course. Age of Wonders really is beautiful. Like, it's just a beautiful game. Right, got so many games, isn't there? There's so many great games. So Keeper RL is awesome. Got to check that out if you haven't. Yeah, Keeper RL is one where it's like you build up a dungeon and build up an army and then go off on raid different things, try to take over different locations. But it's and that's incredible. That's an amazingly good game. Like, if I had have known that that was actually going into version 1 release this year, that would have definitely been right up in my, probably within my top three or four games of the year. And it certainly is worthy of that. It's an incredible game, Keeper RL. Uses 3D combat map with sprites, yeah, but it does not play. But it does not really play in 2D. Yep. So does anyone know if there's going to be a Conquest Elysium 6? I would guess there would be, but there's usually a few years between the different versions. So there'll be a Dominion 6, and then there'll be they'll get all the bugs out of Dominion 6 for this year. Start maybe working on a Conquest of Elysium 6 as well, you know, over the course, and then come out with that. I would guess, but I'm not sure. Bibikus is saying that's the game I'm trying to remember. Silence of the Sirens. Yeah, I don't know that one. Morab saying we have a Silence of the Siren. Yeah, okay. Then we've got there are Songs of Conquest. That's fun. Yep. So Bibikus is saying in 2025 there will be a crossover announcement on the order of the Super Robot Wars. Project X Zones will be Songs of Conquesting. ZXM saying I'm still broken up about my Frost Giant dying, trying to solo the army in your stream. On your stream, I thought he'd rule the world. That was from a while ago, wasn't it? But no, there's some great games out there at this point in time. Now, was there another game that was mentioned? We've got the Songs of Silence. This is a beautiful game. You know what? It was mentioned that this one plays like Heroes of Might and Magic. I don't think it does. For me, it plays. In fact, it was Battle Mode had said a couple of weeks ago that for him it reminds him more of Warlords. And since he said that, I sort of can see that as being more the style of gameplay for like the old Warlords game with Songs of Silence. For me, it reminds me very much of Brigandine, which I've got here. This is a actually I haven't opened this one up for a long time. Is that opening up? Brigandine is one of those games that I was blown away by. I wasn't even interested in playing it when I first came in, but it was, and I'm not sure how far I'm in with that particular game. It's been a long time since I've played this. But just visually, Songs of Silence did remind me of the Brigandine game. This is another game that's sort of loosely fantasy based, and definitely a JRPG game. But amazingly well done. If we go continue, I know I'm sort of towards the end of the game, I think. Yeah, wow, it's been a year and a half since I played it. And I never quite finished it. This is one of these games that I never really got to the end of. And if I just go yes, it hasn't updated for a long time. I was going to leave the final battles till and then record them at some point, but I never got back to it. Anyway, I forget where I'm up to with this particular game, but it's but there's it's a very cool game in terms of it doesn't have a random map. That was the only thing I was really hoping that it would actually have. But in this case, we've almost won the whole game. We just haven't got to the final Death Valley thing, I think. I've got one more big location to try to go and get, but I was getting pissed off at the end of it because it just wouldn't end, even though I've taken over the whole map. So the whole map belongs to us in through here. But if I go back in, and so it's a fairly contained game, but if we but it's sort of one of these games that does your head in a little bit. Actually, where did we do this? If I just return to the title screen. And just go to new game. Yes, there's different modes you can actually then go and play. Unlock the clearing of the land of Renesia. So to do these other ones, you've then got to finish off the game. I should finish it off at some point, because it's an incredible game, this one. But again, this one did remind me of Songs of Silence, just in terms of what it does do. But the it's got all this role play content. It's definitely a JRPG. I'll just skip the cutscenes. The cutscenes are pretty good, I've got to say, particularly if you like those sorts of things. So this is just, anyway. Look, I won't get caught up in it. Just goes through the different empires, what they all do. You can sort of change the nations. They've all got different sorts of JRPG style characters that all do different things. They're quite well balanced, I've got to say. All of the different groups, and they've got different abilities. It's sort of weird. You've got to use your keyboard to really sort of make good use of it, or a controller. So it is very much a port across. Anyway, let's go yes. But this is a hang on, skip the guide. I'll just get out of it as soon as I can. Sorry guys, it's don't know if I can get out of this one easily. But it's got all these different JRPG cutscenes. But it's got a very, very good combat system in it, and it's and even though it doesn't have random maps, it plays very, very different every time you play it. One of the incredible things about it is that every single character has like a crossover with every other character in the game, and so no matter what actually happens, there is like a story that can be generated. So the actual the matrix of stories in the game is unbelievable. Just how much it actually does go through. Just go back to the title screen and quit out of there. But it's that's a really, really cool game. I probably should have just shown the Steam page rather than gone into the actual game itself. But Songs of Silence certainly does remind me of that one. Brigandine, there we go. Legend of Renesia. It's only mixed recently, 50%. Okay, this but most of them is 85%, so which is about right for the game, I would think. It's but it's done very, very well. That's a very, very cool game. Yep, that's okay. That's got that one through there. What we might do is we better start to wind things up. So I'll just go across to and open up the library and just see if there's anything else. There's a few updates coming. This is cool. Actually, so there has been an update. I was playing some Shadow Empire earlier in the week. A little bit of an update in through there as well. Distant Worlds has also had a bit of another polish update. What else is there coming up? Oh, by the way, Turn-Based Thursday is like a group of players who play turn-based games. They've got a special, it's like a special starting on Steam. Like Steam is actually going to be working with them, and there'll be a whole lot of different streamers doing different streams for those. And so I'll be playing that this Thursday as well. Like I'll be sort of playing Warlock 2. And then also over the weekend, I'll be playing some Xenonauts 2 as part of their stuff. So I'll just do that as a bit of an announcement. So look out for that. That will be coming later in the week. That starts, I think, on Thursday. I think the special starts this coming Thursday. So there should be some good stuff in there, just for a 1 week sort of special. Okay, we've got a stable release in through there. That just came. Yeah, that was old. That was March. What else have we got there? We've got Dave the Diver. Cogmind. Oh, okay, what's this one here? Everyone, we're thrilled to share our progress. We've implemented the game. Yeah, that's a pretty cool game, actually, Freeman. Guerrilla Warfare. No, that's the old one actually. It's funny. This is one that everyone thought was abandoned, I think. I won't open it up anyway. That's there's other games now that have sort of bypassed Freeman. That's interesting. Interesting that they've actually come back, because I thought that was abandoned, but obviously it's not. Workers and Resources, Soviet Republic. So that when there was news back in through there, well, that was from 2 weeks ago. God, actually, where's some modern stuff? Old World Hotfix, Sons of Valhalla that launched a week or two back. These sorts of games I don't love, where you're just moving across like a side scroller type sort of game, but this one's done fairly well. Hooded Horse Spring Sale, actually, when's that? Well, that was from March 21st, so that's probably already gone. God, this is old news, isn't it? RimWorld, waiting for more information on the Anomaly preview. So that I haven't heard any information officially about that one. TerraTech Worlds, we covered that one last week. This is the map Madness that's now come back into for the game that we're just having a look at through there before, Songs of Conquest, with different sorts of maps that they've then brought in as well. All sorts of different things coming back in there. So that's a big announcement from their perspective. March, that's all old news. Adventure Mode, Combat Demo Part 2. I might have a look at that myself at some point, I think. Quasimorph, this is this week. Actually, that's interesting. We've got patch notes, so that's just patches. Okay, there's no real good information, is there, really, when we look at this? Nothing big to talk about. So I think we'll just leave it there, and what we'll do is we'll now just do the marble run. If you tried compatibility mode, what was that one to do with? I still play Warlord's Battlecry about once a month. Eudor Games too. I always go back to those two for the skirmish maps. Yeah, so ZX been saying I love the Heroes of the Annihilated Empire skirmish maps too. It's similar in graphics to these other games. I don't know that one. Because it's saying Tomorrow beat Eudor Genesis, but not Master of the Broken World, because the 3D in Master of the Broken World was too slow, and the game was also more buggy than Genesis, so it wasn't as fun as Genesis. Genesis was so much playable in 2D. Eudor, I didn't like the scale of the maps, the way you sort of move around on the maps. I just always got sort of stuck in little areas. It just didn't feel like it had much flow to it. I liked the game, but it just didn't quite work for me. So ZXM is saying Warlock 2 won't work on my system anymore. It's some known issue with... oh, hang on. I hope that I haven't tried it, actually. I better test it, because I am due to stream that as I say, like in a couple of days' time. I think it still works for me. Fingers crossed. That's a good sign.
It happened when the great...
Yeah, that looks like it's okay. Of course, the Renaissance mod, incredible mod. One of the best mods ever made for any game, to be honest. I don't know what that is down the bottom there. Oh, that's downloading different things. That's interesting. Maybe that's actually had an update. What if that was the case? Oh, well, that looks like it's going to work out okay. Yep, this is cool. I have to remember what my settings are. I think I get rid of those two, usually. It's the way I sort of play it, and then just play it in sandbox mode. This is such a great game. Challenging mode, yep, spawn rate of 1. Next. I think it's remembering what I had through here. 3 additional worlds, 3 other heroes as well. And then just a random, there's about 40 different heroes if you got the mods, which is very, very cool. Different ways of sort of playing the game. I used to just roll a dice, or get a random number between 1 and 40, and then just play whatever it is. But this is a very, very cool game. I do like the undead, to be honest. Like this is such a great game. Just make sure it does actually start. So so we will be playing this one, as I say, later in the week, in about 3 days' time. Whoa, Oh, it didn't work. Wonder if that was the problem. Okay, well, I'll try it one more time. I'll just see if it's... no idea what that one was. Try a different character.
It happened.
Alright, so single player game, new game. Turn off both of those. Next. Next. I'll go in with a I'll go in with this one and just see what actually happens. It's an old game now. Old but good. Oh yeah, that's working. Okay, so it will work. Eventually, it will work. So, all right, let's leave that one. That's a game that's it's a good game, but it's a great game if you've got the mod. If you can get that mod working. Okay, so ZXM was saying it's a different problem than the one that I have. Now to get out of here, just go and quit.
Exit the game, my lord.
There we go. Yep, so anyway, that's an oldie but a goldie, that one. Right, let's get marbles started. So we'll have to just go back to Sublime Text. Get those out of the way, and so this is the last key that I've got for Solium Infernum. So there's no more Solium Infernums after this. Where are we? Nightbot. Just log in. So to be in the running, just type in the word win. So we'll get their list of players that way. I'll just open up Marble Run just in case there's been another update. And then we'll sort of just get it all sort of set up. So just the word win to be in the running. What I might do is I might put myself in this one as well, just because it's the last key that I've got for Solium Infernum. So if I win it, I can then actually keep it for next week. So we'll give that one a bit of a go. All right. So yeah, that didn't update. That's all good. Just give you guys a bit more time to get it in there. If ever I've got games that you don't want, yeah, still going the Marble Run to have a bit of fun. You don't have to take the key. You can always just say, "Hey, put it back for next week." If there's a game you just really, if you've already got it or just don't want it, or you may have some friends that want it as well. But Solium Infernum, incredibly good game. Daz always wins, says Genos. I think I've won once, maybe. Now, if we have a tie, we then have a one race playoff with the tied players to sort of see how things do go. All right, let's go and grab the list. Come on, Alt Tab. Where are we? There we go. Okay, so we got Gyrox. Gyrox is the last one in there. Let's just go and grab everyone. Control C. Okay, and Farley is in there as well. Okay, I'll just wait. Yep, Farley. Yep, there we go. All right, so you're in. All right, I'll grab that list. $30 players. Okay, so 30 is a good number. Let's go save. So KCW, are you in? 31. Geno's is saying, are you in? Yes, you are. Okay, so that's everyone, I think. All right, so 31 players. We'll just save that. Yeah, the game isn't designed for YouTube, unfortunately, so that's why we have to do it this weird way. Okay, so 31. So I will close it off there. The room DVD is saying I'm not showing. Here you are. You're there. You're there. I was going to add myself in. So 32. Just try to save the key for next week. Finish that one off. 32. Go back to the Grand Prix. We're going to play 4 maps. We're going to go with bots. 32. So this has changed a little bit there. I think I've got to auto-fill it. We've got race, we've got laps, we've got community. Yeah, that's all okay. This is the different sorts of things. This is fine. Let's just auto-fill. See what we end up getting. Twisted Rainbow Road, Fearful Heart Apparatus, Amused Splashing Waters, and Joyous Jumping Jamboree. Sounds cool. Okay, let's go for it. So let's see how we go. And good luck, everyone. I think we're ready to go. Pretty sure there's nothing else I need to set up. Okay, the big race, the big race. The last key for Solium Infernum. All right, so here we go. Good luck, everyone. So who's going to be the first one out the bottom here on the rainbow stream? Max is the first one out with Hugh David, ZXM, Mora. There's me, Charank back in through there. I've got a few others sort of coming back through. Let's have a bit of a look and see what's happening as we come through this loop. I don't think anyone's going to fall off this first section. So Max, Hugh, and ZXM are 1, 2, and 3 at this stage, and coming down towards where things are going to get a little bit more interesting. So Max is Hugh David straight through, actually, a long way out in front now. Farley coming in second, Max coming in third now. So here we go into the big the churning chamber. So Hugh David is being pushed around. Who's going to be the first one out? I don't think anyone can die in this section of it. Who's going to be the first one out of here? Oh, there's Raoul is now the first one out. Serenity, Farley coming in third still. So we've got Serenity coming back through here, straight through the lumpy section. Back in through here. So looks like Serenity may win the first one. Raoul coming in second, Farley coming in third, Hugh David. Sticky Wicket with Barbara, very, very close. And here comes Serenity, straight into the bowl. Roll, Farley, Hugh David, Barbara, Sticky Wicket, Jeff. Now, coming in 10th is Roger, and you get 10 points for coming in 10th. So there's a bonus prize for coming in 10th. Everyone's going to finish. No one's going to fall off the map, although ZXM and the Room DVD may get caught by the colours at some point. No, I think you'll both make it okay through here. Well, that one, there wasn't much excitement in terms of players leaving the map in this instance. Here comes the room on DVD, and then finally ZXM coming in as well. Now, even if you finish, you still get a point. So that's the end of that one. The winner is Serenity, though. View the final results. So when we have a look at our Grand Prix results, this is the actual point system. So 20 points for Serenity, 15 for Raoul, Farley at 12, Hugh David and Roger both on 10. So 10th place also gets the 10. 8 for Barbara, 7 for Sticky Wicket, 6 and through there, 6, and then down through the actual list through the other side. So next map. Fearful Heart. This sounds like we're going to be losing some people, I think. So this will be interesting. Yeah, wow. Okay, this is a big one. This is a big one. So who's going to be the first one through the bottom here? We've got Raoul again, Guy Bellaby. Okay, so Raoul is making a bid for this key, a big bid. No one's going to fall off this area, but this could get interesting. So Raoul's gone one way, Guy Bellaby's gone the other way, straight through. Guy's actually got the momentum at this point in time. Through the loops, goes to show. No one's actually fallen off just yet. So, oh, yes, they have. Michael's gone. So Michael's gone. Guy Bellaby, goes to show, is up there as well. Bubicus, Max Rebo, John Layla. Whoa, there goes Guy. And through. Guy's actually made it through. Is anyone falling off? No one's actually falling off. Guy's a long way out in front now. That's very dangerous. Barbara's made it in. Dave has made it in. Everyone's made it in, actually. No one fell off on that section. Now, someone will get thrown out here. Okay, Guy's now lost his lead, but is still sort of coming back through. We've got Bubicus out in front. Veer in Games now. Guy Bellaby coming in third. Gyrox. We've got Paul, Original Intent. So being slowed down in this little area. Veer in Games out in front. And there goes Original Intent, who will leave us. Farewell. These things pop you off, just like they did with Barbara. So Barbara has gone. There we go. So these pop up, essentially sort of get rid of people. Now we've got Veer in Games coming back through this other side. Goes to Show is now coming in second, I think. Yep, so Veer in Games, Goes to Show, Jeff, and then Paul. Coming back through the other section. Veer in Games. Whoa! There goes Paul. And Jeff has made it all the way through very, very quickly. There goes Guy Bellaby as well. But Jeff has made it through. And so it looks like it's the room on DVD. Jeff has gone. The room on DVD is there with Hugh David. Now they have to get up that slope. Geno's has now taken the lead. Dave Flute, the room on DVD, is still there, still in it. And coming in for the win is Geno's. Wow, what a great map that one was. So Geno's is number 1, the room on DVD number 2, Dave Flute number 3, Hugh David 4, number 5 is Roger. Then we've got, so everyone's trying to sort of make their way up the listing through there. Here comes Charank for number 6. Stephen, no, we've got Max coming in, Farley, CB, Casey. Is Casey going to take 10th? Yes, there's 10 points there. Then we've got Brian and the others only just getting 1 point. Okay, there we go. A lot of people didn't make it to the end there. So farewell those that didn't make it. Wow, only 12 finishes in this instance. If we have a look at the Grand Prix with the ChatTactic results there. So this is actually the results. So we got down to 2 points was the minimum amount that we ended up getting with all of those different races. The Grand Prix numbers that we now have are 21 points with Geno's, 20 points with Hugh David, Serenity also on 20 points, 18. We've got 17, we've got 16, we've got 15. So a lot of people compressed in the top little area here. So it's quite tight. Next map, the third map. We'll see how we go. Okay, so get started. Is that some sort of bubbles? Looks like it. Who's the first one out? Paul, Bubicus. Okay, everyone's really sort of going through this first one. We'll see who gets to this this loop here. It's Rogue. Rogue first. No, Paul's now taken the lead. Rogue, Casey, and Charank are the leaders at this point in time. Coming down through the liquid. It's a long map, this one. A lot can happen. We'll see who gets to the bottom here. Yeah, it goes to Show in there as well. Just going around the loop. There goes Rogue. Rogue looks to be out in front, I think. Last loop there for Rogue. Got Charank on the other side, I think, as well. But here comes Rogue and Charank and ZXM and Paul. But Rogue's out in front. Let's go to, say, third place and just watch them as they come up. So just watch the loops. So we're following ZXM at this instance. So he's leading on this loop as we come around. And has anyone else made it in yet? No, it's ZXM and Charank. Okay, so they've both now hit and straight through. It looks like Jeff and a few of the others have actually made it even deeper. So we're on this layer here. And they're cutting through the list. Serenity out in front over that side. You've got Jeff on the other side. Okay, ZXM has slowed right down. Serenity out in front with Jeff on the other side there. No one's fallen off, or now they have. There goes to show. And he's safe. He's made it back in again. You don't often see that when you get thrown up like that. So goes to show is still got a life. There we go. Serenity's made it straight through there actually, and Jeff got a bit of a boost along. But Serenity's out in front. Gee, that was lucky. That was very, very lucky. You live on. You live on. So Serenity miles out in front now. Got Raoul coming in second. Raoul's up there in the leaderboard too, so a good finish here could go a long way to winning that key. All right, so here we go. This is going to get very dangerous, I think. That's interesting. I don't know how that's going to work. It's like it bounces somewhere else. I don't know where it bounces to. Oh, that's the finish line there. Here comes Serenity. Here comes Serenity. Is that the finish? Yes. That's Serenity is done. Raoul is also done. I don't know where they're going off to, but anyway, that's so Raoul coming in second. Jeff coming in third, Rogue coming in fourth, Brian, The Room, Sticky Wicket, ZXM, who's going to get the 10th spot, original intent, and then CB got the 10 points. Here comes the others, they're all going to be getting sort of like 2s and 1s, etc. So they're just going into the portals at the back end there. Okay, we'll wait for the others to come. Oh, Roger may not make it. I think Roger's going to get caught at the back end here. Yep, Roger's gone. Paul's gone. Barbara's gone. Hugh's gone. I'm gone as well, I think. Yep. All right, so final results. So have a look at the ChatTactic results in through there. So that's the numbers, and then a few of us didn't finish, so we don't get any points. Before the final race, wow, we got Serenity with 40 points. Now that was the other thing we had is if you've got multiple wins and it's still an even thing, if you've like it comes down to the win count, and then it's a playoff against the others. But we've got 2 second places there for Raoul as well. So we've got 40, and so there's a 10-point difference. Serenity I didn't realise that Serenity won the other one. So that's actually that's a lot of points. So we've got a 20. So we've got a 40 points. We've got a 30 points, and then we've got sorry, that's 30. Hang on, that's only 23. And through there as well, and then sort of down through there. So there's still a chance to win it because you do get 20 points at the start. So in reality, pretty much Hugh Geno's is in with a shot, but really it's between Raoul and Serenity, I think, and maybe The Room on DVD. These through here. So we'll see how we go. So we'll look and see what they actually do. This is the last map, the last race. So if Serenity finishes, it's going to make it difficult for a lot of the others. So let's go. Good luck, guys. So there they all go. Stephen looks like to be the first one down. Coming back up again. Looks like Brian. in the lead. Goes to show as the first one down through the bottom there. Now, of course, anything can happen in this. So straight into this loop. Just wait for the others to then just sort of make their way out the bottom here. So here's the first one through. Oh, Guy Bellaby, it's Brian. Goes to show. Hugh David. Oh, Guy Bellaby's gone. Okay, so this is dangerous here, guys. Just watch the others as they come through. Well, Serenity is a long way back. There they are, and the room on DVD as well. Well, if you end up back there, guys, you're Serenity's going to win the key, I would guess, unless there's a lot of attrition at some point. It's a lot of points to catch up. Way at the back there. Hugh David coming through. Let's follow this one through, just see what actually happens in here. So Brian's out in the lead. Gee, it's psychedelic, isn't it? Oh, there goes Jeff. Jeff's just hit the lead again. And we've got a few people out in front now. Let's just go up to the front through here. So it's Geno's ahead of me. Actually, I've now hit the lead. So, but I'm too far behind to have any bearing on the actual on anything. But Geno's is I think Geno's has got a fair few points, but no one really in the big leader group at the top there. No one's falling off just yet. Oh, Morab has, and Castaner, Original Intent, have as well now as well. So we've got a few that are falling off the way. That's what Serenity's happy for as many people to finish as possible. But Raoul and the room on DVD want as many people dying here as possible. Except for themselves, of course. Surely this has got to have some people end up falling off in that particular instance. Okay, here we go. Oh, this is the finish. That's the end of it. Okay, that's the end. So Serenity has pretty much definitely won. Where is Serenity? There it is. The room on DVD. So they were both very, very close together, and I didn't see where Raoul ended up. I can't see Raoul anywhere. Anyway, so congratulations, Geno's, on the round win. So then that gives us in the point system 20 points for Geno's. I came in second. Jeff came in third. Max Rebo in through there. Rogue, etc., etc. So the actual placings will be Serenity in front, I believe. Yes. Actually, no. Geno's actually hit the lead there. I didn't realise that you were in a position to be able to do that. Wow, what a finish. So Geno's has come through with 2 wins as well and has actually won by 1 point. That's incredible. Thanks for the support there, Bubicus. Very much appreciated. That's 2 first place finishes. Yes, so that's and you won by 1 point. Serenity just needed 1 point to have a playoff with you. Just a finish for somewhere like 12th place would have given Serenity the actual win. But wow, what a comeback! I'm sorry, Serenity. I really thought you were going to win that one for sure. That was a massive finish there at the back end there. So both Serenity and Raoul only got 1 point. The room also only got 1 point as well. And so Jeff came into 4th place. All right, let's finish the Grand Prix. So congratulations, Genos. That was a very, very nice, tight finish there. Incredible finish, actually. Incredible finish. So coming in third place is Raoul. Good run. Good consistent run, I've got to say, except for that last one. Serenity got pipped at the post with a bad run in that last game. It was very, very close. But Genos does actually win with the 42 points, so winning by one solitary point. So what I'll get you to do, Genos, is I'll just press escape. So that's the actual point system. You can sort of see where you are as I sort of scroll back through there. Guy Bellaby at the bottom there with 2 points. Actually, there's a lot of people with just 2 points, so I shouldn't just laugh at Guy. It's everyone down the bottom there. But yeah, that was good finish there. 1 point difference. Wow, that was very, very tight. So what a comeback! What a win from behind. But if you can just email me at daz@daztactic.com, I can then send you out the key. So yeah, well done. That was a good race. Anyway, guys, I have to leave it there. So thanks for watching, and I will be back next week. But I think I'm going to be back at a different time, potentially a different day. So we'll see this. I'll have to plan that one ahead, but I don't think it'll be at this normal time next week. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a little bit different. Anyway, guys, so I'll be streaming on that Turn-Based Thursday as well, a little bit at the end of the week, and I'll be still trying to get some content up on YouTube /Twitch as well during the week. I'll catch you next time. Thanks for watching.